Look at your behavior. Do you prefer at any cost to stay in your comfort zone and to avoid change? Or do you run through all the scenarios in your head only to talk yourself out of making a change in your life? If that's you, then this is the video I want to share with you, 5 hacks on how to break out of your comfort zone without faking it, without forcing yourself to do something that's uninspiring, and definitely without feeling that you need to change yourself to be completely someone you're not. Right? So these are 5 hacks, and at the end of this video, you're going to be able to implement them right away because knowledge is not powered, applied knowledge is power. So I want you to be commenting below, share with me what you learned as well. And if this resonates with you, remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to making topics like this that serve you, that help you to become your best self. So let's go. There's 3 reasons why breaking out of your comfort zone is so crucial for maximum growth and professional development. And the reason why is when you step out of your comfort zone, it gives you more independence, right? It increases your resourcefulness, and it definitely increases your capacity, your capabilities. Because as long as you maintain and remain in your comfort zone at any cost, what's going to happen is that it causes you to depend on your environment and on the current situation in order to give you the predictability, in order to be surrounded by the same people, in order to be having the routines that you're familiar with. And that familiarity becomes a dependence, it becomes a crutch. And as a result of that, it's difficult to step into greater levels of maturity, mental maturity. And it can also limit your resourcefulness whenever you are faced with challenges or whenever you're faced with issues that come along the way. And finally, as a result of that, staying in the comfort zone causes us to limit our capabilities as a result of the limitations of the resourcefulness, and also as a result of being dependent on our environment and the familiarity of it. Right? Because there is a myth believing that staying in a comfort zone is going to give me more stability. And therefore, when I have stability, I have a level of predictability. I know exactly what's going to happen. And as a result of that, I can have confidence. Right? So there is that myth and that belief that causes you to stay in your comfort zone. But truly breaking out, this is where maximum growth occurs, when we face our challenges and when we experience both challenge and support, and we embrace both that life gives you along the way. Right? So the biggest benefit of breaking out of the comfort zone is those 3 things. It is the independence, it is the resourcefulness that we can achieve for mental maturity, and definitely it is the capacity. Right? So moving forward, I'm going to give you the 5 hacks on how do you break out of your comfort zone. Bring out your notepad, take some notes as well, because you're going to be implementing this every step of the way. And at the end of these 5 hacks, you're going to realize it's as simple as ABC. In fact, the 5 hacks are going to follow the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, and that's how it'll be easy to remember for you. So step number 1, or letter A, is align the purpose. One of the most important things in terms of stepping out of the comfort zone is to understand what is my compelling reason to do so. Because the biggest reason why people set goals, and no matter how meaningful they are to us, sometimes we don't achieve them. Sometimes we get off track. Sometimes we get distracted. Sometimes we get derailed. And one of the biggest reasons why these things happen is because there's no compelling reason. There's no central purpose. A purpose is a purpose that's bigger than you, that is longer lasting than your lifetime and your life frames as well. So what is your compelling reason? And it's very personal. This is alignment with your true life purpose, your core mission in life. So what is that for you? And what is the compelling reason? Not just any reason, but how do you make it compelling? So now you have inspiration. You know why you're doing this. That is number 1. Letter A is align the purpose. Letter B is to burn the boats. To explain this point, I have to give you a very short and sweet lesson in history. This goes back to the Battle of Julu in China in around 207 BC. There was an emperor, this was in the Qin dynasty, Xiang Yu. He was to cross the Yellow River. He was leading an army of 20,000 men, and he was going to defeat an army of 300,000 men. And the way that he defeated the army was that he ordered all of his men to destroy all of your cooking utensils and burn the boat so that you cannot recross back the river. And as a result of that, they successfully conquered 300,000 men with only an army of 20,000. So what do we learn from this lesson? When you burn the boats, what does that mean? It means there's no way back. It means there is no backup plan. It means there are no excuses. They burned the cooking utensils as well. They got rid of all of their kettles. This means that they only had 3 days to survive with the rations that they brought forward. And so this puts us in a heightened sense of urgency. Because that is the second biggest reason why we set goals and don't achieve them as well, because we don't have a sense of urgency. With this day and age, there's so many distractions, there's so many things, shining lights, shining object syndrome, shining objects that we want to go into, and this causes us to not develop a sense of urgency. So in order to develop a sense of urgency, change your environment. And how do you change the environment? To burn the boat. What is the boat for you? What are the excuses that you've been making? What is the pattern of decision making that you've been doing? The fallback plan. What is that fallback plan for you? And how can you remove that so that now you have a sense of urgency? And essentially that puts you in what I personally call this a do or die moment. And when humans tend to be in that situation, they tend to succeed. Hack letter C is to choreograph the moves. Have you ever seen a professional dancer perform from stage? It almost looks flawless. It almost looks like it was just a work of art. It looks like perfection. But make no mistake about it, that dancer had hours and hours, days and days, and years behind that performance. They choreographed every move. So what is a choreograph? What is choreography? It is nothing more than a definite plan. It is, what are the steps I'm going to take? What is every move? What is the timing of every move? What is the outcome of every move? And definitely, what is the intent of every move? That is choreography, the essence of what choreography is. And a definite plan is super important, because if you do not have a plan, that in essence, necessarily you are planning to fail. So if you're somebody who recognizes this, and you recognize the previous 2 points as well, aligning with purpose, right, burning the boats, and now you're like, okay, I need to have a definite plan. I do need to choreograph my moves. And you are wondering, well, how do I take that first step? How do I know if this plan is the right one? How do I know what to include in my steps? I don't know how to start. If that's you, then I invite you to book a call to work with me. Below this video, in the description, the very first link is an application to either talk to myself or someone from my team, and just to explore whether or not it is the right fit for you. Because every single week I lead a group of leaders, a group of executives and business owners as well, to have a definite plan, a game plan on how to achieve their most worthy goals. And more importantly, how to communicate those goals across their teams so that they have maximum productivity and maximum professional growth as well. So if you're serious about having coaching and mentorship, then I invite you to click the link below, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Hack letter D is to drown the infatuations. If you're looking at your behavior, what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you're looking at behavior and you notice that you do have a tendency to avoid at all costs leaving your comfort zone, to avoid at all costs making a change and talking yourself out of it, going through all the scenarios, only in the end to stay in your comfort zone. If that is you and you're noticing this behavior, the essence of why that happens is because in your mind, you're stacking up all the reasons why the comfort zone is beneficial to you. You're stacking up all the reasons why being in the comfort zone is going to provide you with more support than leaving it, why it's going to be more positive than leaving it, why it's going to be serving you more than leaving it. And so we're stacking all of these things, and that stacking it, those assumptions about it, causes us to become infatuated with the comfort zone. And that infatuation, the greater that infatuation is, the greater the need at all costs to stay in the comfort zone. The essence of what happens next is now the greater we fear its opposite, where the greater we fear leaving the comfort zone, the greater we feel that leaving the comfort zone is going to be more negative, it's going to be more challenging, and therefore more unserving of us. And so this dichotomy is created. So how do we drown the infatuations? I challenge you to do this. To drown the infatuations is to really look at, how is staying in the comfort zone, how is that not beneficial to me? How is that actually harming my independence? How is that limiting my resourcefulness? How is that causing me to have opportunity costs elsewhere? So this is where now you begin to look at the areas where you did not dare to look before. How is comfort? What are all the ways that staying in the comfort zone is not serving me towards my highest potential? So answering these questions alone will help you to dissolve that infatuation, and therefore, when you balance that perspective, now leaving the comfort zone doesn't seem so scary. Now here's a bonus. Do the opposite as well. Look at leaving the comfort zone, because the opposite is true. We've been having these assumptions about leaving the comfort zone is going to be a fearful thing. So look towards the opposite of that as well. How is leaving the comfort zone going to give you more independence? How do you see that leaving the comfort zone is going to lead to greater opportunities, deeper fulfillment in your career path, and also resourcefulness and greater mental acuity? So look at all the benefits of leaving the comfort zone. So that is how you achieve this next hack on drown the infatuations. emotions. And let's forward to the fifth and final step. Hack letter E, the final hack, is to extend the emotions, right? When it comes to staying in the comfort zone at all costs, that decision is usually dominated by fear and anxiety, and those are the feelings we've been so used to. Those fears and anxiety keep us stuck. They keep us ruminating on what the nightmares are, leaving the comfort zone. So with respect, this last hack, extend the emotion, follows from the previous one on drown the infatuations. Once you've taken the previous step, now look at the emotions on the other side. What happens to the fear and anxiety? Watch what happens to it when you begin to see how leaving the comfort zone is going to serve you, and also when you begin to see how staying in the comfort zone is going to harm your capacities, or your mental intelligence, or your independence. So watch what happens to the emotions and really connect with that. This is important because one of the most important things to making positive changes in your life, no matter how scary the changes seem to be due to our assumptions of that change, this extending the emotion part of it gets us emotionally connected to our reasons why change is necessary and change is going to help us. It also gets you emotionally connected to how staying in your comfort zone is harmful. All the different ways how it's also a drawback instead of just a benefit. Right? So those are your 5 hacks on breaking out of the comfort zone. And by the way, if you are wanting to know, okay, then how do I make a decision moving forward? In the next video, and you don't have to go anywhere, just stay on YouTube. In the next video following right after this, I have a video coming up next that's going to share with you what are the critical thinking skills to make great decisions. That's coming up next. I'll see you there.